Yes, now we can start. We are live stream here.
Uh, Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Young Indian Theosophist meeting on the Sunday. It is very delighted. It is very good that we are back again. Today we are going to have an interesting session. It's a talk and a discussion session, and brother Pradeep is going to deal this session. Before anything, uh, I'll start the session with the universal prayer so that we can go ahead. O hidden life, vibrant in every atom. O hidden light, shining in every creature. O hidden love, embraced in all in oneness. May each who feels himself as one with thee know he is also one with every other. Thank you. With that, we can start the session. Pradeep is not a new person. He is a very good speaker, and I met him uh, last year, not technically last year, yeah, December last year for the youth conference. And he was our lead. It was very much nice and interactive talking with Pradeep in that session also. Pradeep is a master's in biotechnology, working as a business manager for an organic products company, and also a professional consultant for hydroponic. Pradeep is a third generation Theosophist and an active member of the Bangalore City Theosophical Lodge, Karnataka Theosophical Federation. He was born in a family of theosophical members, hence, naturally raised in a theosophical environment. As an active member of TS, Pradeep was invited by many lodges in Karnataka state to give lectures to their members on various theosophical topics. He is also an active member of the Young Indian Theosophist group. They meet every Sunday online, just like this, with various activities. He has given many lectures and conducted study classes to this group. All the videos have been uploaded to YouTube in the YIT channel regularly. He has been invited to be a panelist in Youth Forum on the first day of the 146th International Convention of the Theosophical Society held online. He delivered a short talk on the subject, What are our challenges? Apart from this, I know he's a very intelligent person and is a very good speaker because I have talked with him. I have a couple of good discussions with him during the youth conference as well. So I'm giving the chair to Pradeep to take the lead of the session.
Thank you so much for your very warm introduction. It's very cold here in Bangalore. I hope you guys are all warm.
Same here in Hyderabad.
Yes. So my today's topic is I'm going to give a talk, and in the end we will also have a discussion. And the topic of my talk is how to live in this world. This is a very wonderful question and answers session by J. Krishnamurti with one of the audience, or maybe someone who was asking the question. We don't know. Their name has not been given. This is from the book Urgency for Change. This entire question and answer chapter, which is called How to Live in This World, I felt it very interesting because recently we had a youth camp in Bangalore for members of the Karnataka Theosophical Federation, young members below the age of 45. So it was in Kannada. So I gave this talk and I translated this into Kannada for the members. So I thought I will use the same talk and I will talk to you so that because I felt very happy and I felt the need to share with you all. So, how to live in this world? Before we explore this topic, first let us see what is the world around us. So, what is this world that we are speaking about? Is it the trees, the parks, the buildings around us, wherever we are sitting? Is it the vehicles that are moving, people that whom we can see, whom we talk, or family members, our friends? Only this put together is the world. So, if we start defining world, each one or everyone will have a different definition of what is world. But what J. Krishnamurti, we will just call him JK, that's enough. What JK says is, world is nothing but your relationship between things and events that are happening around you. Things also include people. So your relationship with these objects, people, and the events that are happening around them. And how does this relationship is defined? This relationship is defined by your thoughts, your words, and your actions. So you will have a thought and that transform into a word or sentence, and that will lead for some action from you. And that is your relationship with anything, any person, or any event around you. So that relationship is established and that is defined as your world. Now the question comes, does everyone have same relationship with every object or every person that you see? No. So this relationship is very personal, meaning the kind of thoughts, words, and actions that come out of you to define your relationship with any particular thing around you is totally personal, is totally different, unique from the same from your brother or your cousin or your friend or any other person. So therefore, world is different or world is unique. World is specific for every person. Your world is different from my world. What relationship you are having is totally different from what I am having with this world. So therefore, one has to understand this concept that it is not the same world that each one of us are seeing. Events may be same, objects may be same, persons may be same, but your relationship defines your world with those events, with those objects, with those people. If you're not having any kind of relationship, then that is not part of your world at all, right? So let's understand this concept first and then move on to our topic. Now, once you arrive at a conclusion that the world around us is very specific, very unique, is very personal for each one of us, then are we happy with this world? Are we really happy, satisfied, enjoying for being in our own world? Each one of us, in our own measure, we see misery, we see dishonesty, corruption, hypocrisy, deceit, robbery, terrorism, looting, and so on and on and on. If we start listing, each one of us see these things happening. I mean, the events happening in this world that is affecting each one of us in our own way. You may not be affected by a terrorist attack. Someone may be directly affected by it. So for them, in their world, that attack is a big thing. But for you, maybe that will give a reaction, a small reaction, a thought in your mind. Maybe you'll talk about it with your friend. You will express your unhappiness with that event. So that's all. So that is in a smaller measure in your world, which may be in a bigger measure in somebody else's world. However, all these things put together will bring about a kind of misery, a kind of fear, unhappiness, unsatisfied feeling with this world. So each one of us have all these problems that we see in our own worlds. Now, what have you thought about these problems? What do you think about these problems? What is your reaction, your natural reaction? So every normal human being, when any such thing happens in his world around him, the first thing he tries to do is, if I can move to some other place. So that's to escape, because that's the most easiest thing, to leave that place, to escape from that situation, to leave that person, wherever there is problem, there is trouble, or not to think about it, to remove those thoughts forcefully from the mind, forcefully be very conscious of not to talk about it, not to take any action about it. You're forcing yourself. So that's escaping. To some extent, some people go to next level if they think if they can change it. So the next reaction is, you try and see if you can change it. There is some problem happening from some person, and then you think you don't want to escape from that person, you don't want to move away, then you try to change the person. You try to convince, you try to teach, you try to argue, and whatnot. That is, you want to change, whether it's a person or an event or an object or anything. You try to change it. And the third thing is, some people go even a step ahead and then try to change themselves. They try to see if they can change so that they can adjust to that particular person or a situation which is causing trouble. If they can change their attitude, if they can change their mind, their heart, their ambitions, their ideas, and then accept what's happening around them, and then move on, even though they are not satisfied, they may not be happy, but at least to avoid trouble, to avoid problem. So these are the three major things. Either you leave or escape, or you try to change something outside you, or try to change something inside you. These are the reactions that people usually give for those things that are troubling you. So JK is asking, these thoughts of changing something, whether it's external or internal, this thought of changing, the process of changing, or audible now? Harsha, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. So these JK is asking this question, this thought of changing yourself or changing the other person, trying to change or leaving or escaping. Is it an idealism? Is it really worth of following? Is it something that is worth of teaching to someone, to make it a big theory and teach and say this is how you need to live in this world? Either you escape, or you change, or you change the other. Is it what we are trying to teach others? Is it something worth of following to implement in our life? But JK is saying you cannot
I think there's a small issue with the audio.
Am I audible now?
Yes, yes, you're audible now.
Okay. Even though it's Sunday morning, I'm getting spam calls continuously. Anyways, so JK is saying escaping is not an option for everyone. Not everyone can escape because you need to live in this world, you need to perform your duty, you have your obligations, you have your relationships. He just make it in one simple sentence that you need to perform. So escaping is not an option for everyone. Now the question comes next, changing yourself and changing the other person. Finding a new life, totally changing the order. Is that ideal at least? JK says, if you are seeking to change the life or escape from this life, you will reach or find a life even more problematic and contradictory. So he says, if you're trying to escape from that life wherever you find a problem, or if you try to change yourself or the other, external or internal, you try to bring about a change, then you will end up with even more problematic and contradictory life. Why? Why is it so? You may ask. Because the urge for searching something new, the urge for changing something what is, has arisen from your confusion, from your greed, from your envy, from your fear, and all these thoughts that has come within you. If you are trying to change something, if you're trying to change someone, if you're trying to change yourself, if you're trying to escape from a situation with an intention of having a new life, a new place, or a new person, or a new kind of order of life, and if the basis of those thoughts, if the basis of that need to change, that urge to change, if the basis, if the foundation is on fear, on confusion, on greed, on envy, then you will end up in finding something new, which is even more confusing, which is even more problematic, which is even more contradictory. Why? And why that is so? Because JK says the world or the life around us is nothing but the manifestation of world or life within us. What we are seeing around is nothing but a simple manifestation of what is within us. So if we are having the urge to change or to escape with an intention of achieving something that is new, and if that urge is based on our fear and our confusion, our greediness, and what so on, we carry that wherever we go, even though we go to a new place. Say, for example, let's take simple examples. You are working in one particular company and you are not a very good team player. You have this tendency of hiding everything. not sharing information, and all these things which are very selfish. But you don't understand that the problem is from you. And when you face problems from your colleagues and your higher authorities for not supporting you or not cooperating with you, you leave that company and then move to a new company. But there again, you face the same problem because you carried the actual problem within you. It is you who is not a good team player. You have not understood that properly, right? So if you are trying to change something, if you are trying to escape from something and finding new, with those problems within you, with all these kinds of confusion, greed, envy, fear, and all these problems within you, no matter where you go, no matter what kind of new world you find, no matter what kind of new person you find, new relationships you make, you carry the problems with you. And that new life, that new order, everything will have even more problems, even more contradictions and confusions. Because the world or the life which is surrounding you is just a manifestation of the world or the life that is within you. Now, what is JK saying about how to live in this world now? So, let there be no going anywhere. Let there be no running away. No sense of progressing. No search for better things. Because the end is projected out of misery, envy, confusion, and fear. So he's saying the end, the final result, you're projecting it. You're having an idea of an ideal world and happy life or something, and that end is projected with your on the basis of your misery, your fears, your confusions, your envies, your greediness. So let there be no going anywhere. So first thing is you come to a conclusion that there is no going anywhere. I'm not leaving this place. I'm not leaving this world. I'm not leaving this situation. I'm not leaving these people. Let there be no running away. So first give up the idea of escapism. So no running away. No sense of progressing. So this is a little hard to understand. Don't have a sense of progressing that, okay, till now I have achieved this much and from now on I have to achieve this much in my life. No, that to your uh, career, to your studies, and those are not the things that JK is talking about. JK is talking about the world as such, your life as such, your relationship with this world as such. So in these relationships, in this relationship with the world, the life that you're facing every day, let there no be sense of progressing. Don't think that my life will be better tomorrow. I want my life to be better tomorrow than what I'm having now. Then if you think that it should be better tomorrow, then that betterness, something better than what is today, will either be based on the materials that you're having, people whom you are having now, the place where you're staying now, or something. But if you think that what is my world and learn how to live in this world, then you will give up that sense of progressing. That sense of progressing comes with various things, people, and events. So that is what JK is trying to say in this sentence. No sense of progressing, no search for better thing. Don't search for better thing. Don't think, okay, what I'm having is not good. I want a better one. So don't think about such better thing also. Now you will have a question, then what to do? How to live here? The end projected out of misery, envy, confusion, fear, which is supposed to be better than what is actually worse than what is. again, we already discussed about this, that if the end, when you're searching for something better, when you're having a sense of progressing, that you need to have a higher or a better thing from what you have now, if that end is projected out of misery, confusion, fear, and all these things in your mind, and that will be even worse than what you have now. You may think you have progressed, you may think you have achieved a better one, but you are stuck in more misery, you are stuck in more confusion. Then what to do? What is JK saying about how to live in this world? Hence, understanding completely what is the only solution for misery, envy, confusion, and fear. The first thing what JK is saying is understanding completely of what is. This is the first thing that you need to achieve, or that this is the first thing that you need to do, is to understand completely. I mean, JK will not use these words that you have to do this or something. He just say in general, and it is up to you to follow it or not. Sometimes he even say, don't follow just because I told. But for us, for better understanding and better studying his topics or his lectures, we shall use these words. He's saying, understanding completely what is the only solution for misery, envy, and confusion. So whatever problem that you face in your world, in your life, or what you're having now, miseries, confusion, fears, envies, greed, or anything, any problem, understanding it completely is the only solution. Now, what is that understanding? For us, understanding is a very, very common word. We use it very often. It's not such a difficult world where we need to a word where we need to open a dictionary and see the meaning for it. Understanding. We all use this word understanding. What is understanding then? What is understanding? You understand your friend. Okay. You use this word. I have understood him, right? Or I have understood this topic. I have understood this situation. I have understood what's going on, right? You use this word understanding every time, but what do you mean by complete understanding? Complete understanding of what is means one has explored and discovered, explored and discovered the truth, all the falseness or the falseness of it. So this is what we need to understand. This is what we need to deal with in detail. Understanding completely means one has explored and discovered. So you need to explore and you need to discover by yourself the truth and the falseness of it. JK is not using the word truth or falseness. JK is not saying that either truth or falseness may be staying there. No, he's saying truth and falseness. Means both are existing, coexisting. So they are not complementing. They are coexisting here. Means for everything, for every event, for every situation, with every person, there is a face of truth. There is also a face of falseness. How much is truth and how much is false? What is the truth and what is the falseness? If you can explore and discover by yourself, and that is the process of complete understanding. Understanding is not just exploring things that you can deal with, things that are easy for you to deal, things that are profitable for you, things that may cause problems for you. Not only these things, understanding completely is everything. What is truth, what is there, and what is not there. Let's take an example. Sometimes we read about a place in our textbooks, and then we develop a kind of imagination because that has come out of our knowledge, because we read in the book. So we imagine things. And then in an excursion or a educational tour, if uh, if you are taken to that place to see by yourself, what happens there is things that you have over imagined, they vanish away. Because when you read, you might have imagined something more than what is. They vanish away. The second thing is things which you have never imagined start to appear. In whatever you have read, you might have not imagined those things. But when you visit that place, you encounter them. So, what you have not imagined when you see them, that is the truth. That is what is there, which you didn't expect. That is discovering the truth. What you have over imagined, when that is not there, that is discovering the falseness. So, the truth and falseness is not something which is there in the object being observed. Those two things are the impressions that have been generated through your thoughts. So the truth and falseness of any object that you are trying to observe, that is being observed, the complete discovery of these two things is the meaning of complete understanding. Complete understanding of what is negates the idea of what want to change, what is, or an idea of what should be. So JK is saying, once you learn how to completely understand something, some event, some person, or some situation, that complete understanding itself will break away, the idea, will negate the idea, will make this idea not important at all. What idea? The idea of want to change, or the idea of what should be. So if you're having a situation, in the beginning, you may have an idea of what should be. Okay, this should not be like this, and this should have been like this. And then you will have an urge of changing from what it is now to what it should be, ideally, right? But JK says complete understanding of what is will remove the idea of your urge to change it, your urge to the idea of what should be. This is a little difficult to understand. You may think, okay, I understood the problem, now I want to change it. We always use this sentence, I have understood the problem, now I want to change it, right? But JK says, if you think that is a problem, don't make it a problem. If you make it a problem, then you always search the solution. Then you are stuck in the solutions. When you don't consider it as a problem, when you understand the situation or an event or a process or anything as it is, then there is no question of seeing it as a problem. Then there is no question of finding for a solution. There is no question of changing what it is. And there is no question of having an idea of what should be, ideally. So the complete understanding, the moment you understand, it negates, It removes all these ideas. Once you know this is the truth and this is the false, that is, what is will appear as what is. There won't be anything, any urge to change. Then, how to understand? There is understanding, there can be complete understanding only when mind and heart are in perfect harmony. Understanding means one has explored and discovered the truth and falseness of it, not only intellectually, but felt deeply in one's heart. So we need to understand this thing means complete understanding should not only based on our intellect, not only with the use of a mind, but with complete harmony of mind and heart. Not just intellectual understanding is not enough, doesn't help. Understanding intellectually, but feeling it deeply in one's heart, emotionally, both intellectually and emotionally, one has to find a harmony between the intellect and the emotion. The mind and heart represents intellect and emotion. That's all simple. One has to find harmony between these two things and then understand anything. So if you have understood something and then you still feel the need to change it, it means you either understood it only with your intellect or you have understood it only with your emotion. That imbalance between your intellect and emotion, misproportion between these two things, is what that causes or is what that gives an idea within yourself to change something. This is a little tricky to understand. See, you always use this sentence. We all use this sentence. I have understood this. I have understood this situation. Now I know what to do. Now I know what it should be. Now I want to change it. Or now I know how to behave myself with this. So I want to change myself. Or now I know nothing can be changed. So I want to move away from this. Right? Even after understanding something, some situation, some event, some person, if you're still feeling the urge to change either yourself or the thing outside you, if you still feel the urge to escape, it means you have not understood it within harmony between your intellectual and your emotion. Something has played more. If you have used your intellect more, then probably you're still having the urge to change based on your greediness, your enviness, your fear. I mean, fear comes in emotion, maybe, or your idea of what profits you, how much loss you may undergo, and all these things. But if your emotions has played a lot, the urge to change may have come on the basis of your fear, on your greediness, on overly attachment, and all these things. But if you have a perfect balance between your intellectual and your emotion, a perfect harmony, JK says you will never feel this urge to change what is. You will understand it, what it is, the truth of it, the falseness of it, and you will never feel to change it. Next, to live in this world, we must deny the world, deny the ideal, the misery, and so on, and deny by understanding. So, what is that JK is talking about here? What to deny? How to deny this world? How to deny by understanding? Deny the world not with an intention to acquire or achieve something new, but with an understanding of what is, without wanting for what should be. Once you reach this stage of complete understanding, then you will reach the stage of denying. Then what to deny? What is the meaning of being in denial? Here, JK is talking about deny means to deny the thoughts, the the ideas that coming out of your mind, to change it. So you never allow such things to play in your mind now. You deny them completely. You deny this entire world itself. Means you have nothing to do with it. It's not you who want to change it. You don't even get the idea of changing it. You don't even get the idea of running away. You don't even get the idea of changing yourself. Once you deny it, once you think it has nothing to do with me, it's complete denial. Deny all the thoughts within you. That is what JK is talking about. Deny means not reject. We often confuse with these two words, to deny or to reject. Sometimes the result is to reject, but only for a softer word. For being polite, people use the word to deny, but it's actually rejection. You're rejecting someone, your application is rejected. That may be harsh, so people say your application is denied, or uh, we have denied your so and so offer, something. So but the words are different. To deny is different from to reject. So to deny means to just stay, to remain where you are, without having an urge to change, without having any other idea of what is or what should be. And that kind of denial comes only with complete understanding. Denial should come out of understanding, not out of fear and anxiety. Either the denial should not be based on your fears or your anxiety or anything, but that should be based on your complete understanding. To live in this world sanely, there must be radical change of mind and heart. So it's JK is not saying there you have to change your mind and heart. No, there must be, means if you have to change, if someone says you have to change, then there is a process involved in it. JK is not talking about any process. He's saying there has to be, means you live in that change, be in the change. So there is a difference between be the change and change yourself. When you say change yourself, then it involves a process. Should be a method of it for it. But be the change means you become the change, you live in the change. So there is a difference between these two sentences. So JK is saying to be the change, there should be a change in mind and heart. Change means an order that is not related to past. And that change in mind and heart should not be related to your past. Nothing from the past should come in the way of that change in mind and heart. Change is no movement at all. So it's not a movement. Again, change means not a process where you're trying to convert yourself, your mind and heart. No, it's to be in the change. Just be the change. Change is denial of change. This is these words from him are sometimes, we get a smile on our face, but if we try to understand, they have a very deep meaning in them. Change is denial of change. Means JK's idea of change is the denial of our idea of change. We have an idea of changing, means it's a process, it's a method, it's an ideal. We have a list of things to change. No, to deny all those things is change. Total negation of all movement of thought away from what is the ending of what is. So he even says to end what is, to end what you're feeling, what you think, or what you're facing, to end that, a total negation of all movement. What is movement? Total negation of anything related to leave or any thought that leads you from A to B. So total negation of all those things will end what is, will end that problem there itself. And you live in that change. You be the change. And that comes with complete understanding. Complete understanding comes with a total harmony between your heart and mind, your emotion and intellect. And that leads to a complete denial of what is. And that leads to a radical change in your mind and heart. This is what JK is trying to say in this chapter. So I open the session for any questions now.
It was really nice to listen. It's the first time I'm listening to this topic of JK. Wonderfully covered. There were few points which are actually very much nice, where we can actually put our time to think and understand the depth of it. We sometimes just smile over it on those sentences because of the twist they have, but still we have to think the depth it is involving. There are a few things in the entire session which I'll just cover it in 2-3 minutes. Pradeep said, he quoted from JK that world around us is specific, it is unique. Every person has got a different perspective of seeing this world. And he said, what we are seeing outside is nothing but a manifestation of what is within. So that is something we need to really ponder upon. Like, whatever you're seeing, whatever you're witnessing, whatever you're thinking that it is a struggle outside in this normal world, is built upon the fact that it is you who is creating all that inside you. Something that is very much needed right now in this moment to everybody, because I feel everybody are facing struggles, everybody are into different problems. They think that their life is like too much harsh for them. This is the mindset where people are living right now. I think this kind of understanding that whatever we are perceiving in this world is nothing but it is a manifestation of what is within, is to be taken among people, not to influence, but to make them realize, not to change, not to actually convince them, so that they start their understanding. And again, understanding is really important. A very common word that we use, as he said, but still, he defined this understanding, complete understanding. It comes from the harmony of heart and the mind, that is the emotional and the intellectual aspect. And you are able to find the truth and the falseness of it. It's not like, as he said, not like either or, it's end. Truth and falseness of the aspect. When you are able to clear yourself, then it is called a complete understanding of what is. So it is really important, because we always stuck in the fact of what should be or what could be or what we want, but we never think of what is. So that is really needed, at least to live in this world. And he also covered the word denial. The word denial, again, this is something again important. Why? Because we use these words in our day-to-day lives for different purposes. But again, he's talking about denial of the change that the world is actually going through. When you understand when you understand the idea of what is, automatically you know the other process. It's not actually coming from any other influence. It is coming directly from you. You are able to see things as it is. You're able to see situations as it is.
బుక్ చూడకుండా ఇదేంటి ఇలా అయిపోయిందో
Can we? Yeah. So there is a difference between being the change and changing ourselves. This is again something very much needed to ponder. When we are talking about change, it is always the three things which he has covered in the initial in the initial part of the discussion, where he said it is either escaping from the situation or changing the other person or the other entity or changing ourselves, taking a step forward. But it is not that. That is not the change which JK is talking about. JK is talking about the change that is living with the change, that is being the change rather than changing or trying to change or trying to manipulate or trying to convince or influence. And the very idea of change is denied by JK, what world is being taught. So that is an excellent discussion. I think there are a lot of points that we need to recognize and realize and have to think. Why? Because understanding is not a small word. Understanding has got lot of depth, and I think we need to live in that depth. These are the few points I think I can cover up. Anybody, any other member, participant who has got questions or something to say are open to unmute themselves and can talk. Thank you.
Okay, if nobody is there, I can share. Very well presented, Pradeep bhai, and very well summarized, Harsha bhai. And I think, yeah, what I think the fundamental, the essence of what we have just, I would not say understood, listened from Pradeep, is that we actually create a gap between three words: knowing, being, and doing. Like first comes knowing, then is being, and then doing. But what JK is saying that no, all these three are simultaneous. And that's what he may be meaning. But it's like, and okay, we keep reading the examples that he gives. That when there is fire in the house, we don't ask somebody, okay, who put the fire, and all the kinds of thoughts that keep coming in the mind. Immediately what we do is we jump out of the bed and get out of the house and find the water or somehow try to extinguish the fire. So there is no gap in seeing, understanding the situation and acting upon it. So, but the thing is, what the title of the talk of Brother Pradeep today, the urgency of change, is, do we really see that urgency of change? Because this can only happen if we really see the urgency of, like, if I have the urgency of going to a movie, right? And movie is releasing next month, so I start planning, oh, let's plan that and buy the tickets in advance. So I'm not having any distraction. That is my priority, because that is an urgent thing for me to do. But do we really in the same manner see this, that there is an urgency in the change of the way of thinking or the way of life, as Pradeep said? How do we live our life? So and I think that is why I think behind all of the spiritual practice or reading, why is a very important question. that why am I doing, why even I'm doing meditation, why I am listening to this talk, why am I going to get something, some insights out of this? Am I really that feeling that due to, as he said, due to my inner being, I am also part of all the ugliness around me. I also am contributing to it. So can I, in my little way, change so that I stop contributing to what's happening outside? But that's, yeah, but we have that. Actually, we should not say it again and again, because again, we are strengthening our conditioning that, yes, I understand now. Now I will start to change myself. Actually, I should immediately right now change. So maybe, not maybe, let's he changed. But really, listening to JK's thoughts, and of course, as explained by Pradeep, was very, very inspiring. And yes, hope everyone gets benefited. Thank you. Thank you.
I think Brother Ganesh has got something to say, Ganesh Kumar. So he's saying, thank you, Pradeep. In my view, we might also view that JK said as similar to the view of Vedanta, that each one of us are already as perfect as the ultimate reality. And what is needed is that each one of us realize our true nature rather than deluding ourselves in the name of changing ourselves to achieve something which we already are in reality. So, Pradeep, you got something to say for this?
No, that's, I mean, even the words are same. So whatever uh, we have discussed, it's exactly same. I don't know what is Vedanta, what he's talking about, but anyways, I heard many things. So it's the same thing that we are, or anything that is around us, is in an order or is what it is. Whether it's JK, according to JK, there is nothing called it's ideal, perfect. Those things will not come in JK's philosophy. I mean, he will never use those words. What is what it is. That's it. Let's not even consider it as the ideal thing or the perfect thing, and we are deluding, and we have to understand it. And then again, there is a process in that. If you think we are in a perfect, we are perfect, but we don't know about it, and we are deluding it from it, then again there involves a process of trying to stay focused or stay to understand what we are, and as such, JK is not even saying that what you are is even perfect or imperfect. Nothing. You don't even label it as such. It is what it is. Simple. Whether it's perfect, there is true, there is false. You understand completely what is true and what is false, and you live there. You live at that position. That's it. Don't even compare it with what was not ideal and what is ideal, what was not perfect and what is perfect. There is no comparison also. So it is a step ahead of whatever he is saying, the Vedanta, whatever. It is a step ahead of to accept what it is, and without even labeling it. I think we should understand the way JK tries to put things.
Anybody else have got anything to say?
With no questions, I think some seniors can at least give some more light on the topics. I see many seniors in the group.
May I speak a little? 2 lines?
Yes, please.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. No, just something in Hindi also. Will you do?
Yeah. Whichever language you
हाँ,
you're comfortable.
no, जैसे कि आपने एक एग्जांपल दिया था कि फायर इन द हाउस एंड व्हाट वी डू, सो वी डू नॉट थिंक that time perception is the action, है ना? So JK wants this. Perception is the action that will come in the awareness, when however we increase our awareness in daily life also, and when we try to perceive the thing as it is, then only it will be possible, as JK says. But Radha Vanyar in Human Regeneration, she also says the same thing. But for that, JK is little higher. है ना? So before that, we should be able to purize our hearts and our actions, our thoughts. We should try to go beyond the thoughts, no modification of thoughts, as JK says. And then only that will be the first step, and that will be only the last step, as JK also says. I think I have understood this much,
Thank you.
and
Sri Prabhu.
understood, not practiced so much.
I think Sindeji is here. He want to say something.
Pradeep ji, thank you very much. Very nicely you explained in a simple way, which can be understood very thing. And this urgency of change is an important statement. What JK wants us to change? Because we are actually addicted for meditation. We all are oriented towards the meditation in one way or the other way. And meditation for what? Meditation for the peace of mind. And JK points out, seeking in meditation peace has got no meaning. And that change should be there. Because in your daily life, you are cruel, violent, ambitious, greedy, envious, and fearful. So in daily life, you are all this, and you want peace. So as in daily life, you have no peace. That is why he says, try to understand. Understanding itself is seeing the situation clearly, without any images, with total awareness. And it comes as the outcome of a deepening of understanding. That is what Pradeep said. Understanding is the only law. Understanding is the enlightenment. In that enlightenment, in that light of understanding, you see clearly your challenges which are at your disposal, and the solution lies in that challenges. Why we are violent, why we are ambitious, why we are greedy. All these challenges you understand. Not necessary to change. Just you are violent. Just see how you are violent. That seeing and understanding what the Krishnamurti asks us to change, and not to seek in meditation peace as such. That point I would like to point out. Thank you very much. And you discussed very nicely. Thank you and congratulations for you.
Thank you, Shindeshi. Vimalji, you try to talk and then
Yeah,
yes.
hi. I'm really glad that you took this topic, and actually the whole Krishnamurti series, which has been put up by the Krishnamurti Foundation on the same topic, the urgency of change, is a series that is really worth going through.
Yes.
I would love to. I mean, there's nothing really to add except that a sign that you need to change. Yeah. A sign that you need to change comes from conflict. If there is conflict, you know that inside you there is some conflict, and conflicts can be in deep layers. So you have to probe a lot inside you to search for those areas of conflict. And you might find it very like, why should I do so much work? But this is the work. This is meditation. This is the work which needs to be done before the mind becomes ready for experiencing that which we want to experience. Which another thing is, if one wants to understand what is meditation, what Shindeji said is about understanding. Also, one thing, like, I think that it's good to go through that Krishnamurti's notebook, because he's constantly talking about meditation in that. So, and he's describing meditation, and his description of meditation is exactly what is there in HPB's diagram of meditation, that is in the absence of space and time. And in that, he talks about what is the nature of the mind which can receive that unknown thing. And that is to come to that type of mind, we have to change. Otherwise, we are never going to come to that. So that is what I'd like to contribute. And thank you so much, Pradeep. It was wonderful. Very good topic. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vimalji. If no questions, I think, Harsha, it's time to close.
Yeah. Okay. We'll close the session. We'll close the session by chanting a Shanti mantra. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Paschantu, Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhagavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining the session. With this, session is closed.
Thanks to all the speakers.